Okay, this is Professor Lepe again, and this video is about Unit 3, 3 Part 10, Solving Linear Equations. So, this is the last video for Unit 3, so we'll be combining everything that we know, starting from Unit 3.1 all the way up until now, to solve special types of equations that are called linear equations, okay? So, the strategy for solving a linear equation, step 1, simplify each side if needed. Step 2, use the addition or subtraction properties to move the variable term to one side and all the other terms to the other side of the equation. Step 3, use multiplication or division properties to remove any values that are in front of the variable. And then, as always, the last step, step 4, check your answer. Okay, so very quickly, why are we so focused on linear equations? Why are they called linear equations? How do we know? Well, we know that they're linear equations because if you notice wherever you see the variable x doesn't have an exponent, but in reality it does, and that exponent is 1. So when the exponent is 1, that means the type of equation that you have is a linear equation. Okay, so maybe off to the side here, wherever you see the variable x, that's the same thing as x equal to 1, okay? And so x equal to 1, your clue that the equation is going to be linear. There's some other details, of course, of why the equations that you see in this unit are linear, but I'll leave those particulars for a follow-on course and or for your instructor to identify those reasons. Okay, so in the example, solve each equation, check all the solutions, okay? And I believe what I'm going to do here to make it a little bit more easier to solve the equations, check the solutions, I'll do it on another piece of paper. Like I said, we're going to be combining everything that we know from Unit 1 up until now to solve these equations, okay? Let's take a look at Part A, okay? And I want to add a blank page, okay? So the equation is 10 minus 3x equal to 7, okay? So 10 minus 3x equal to 7, okay? First thing we're going to do is we're going to use the subtraction property to get rid of the number 10 from both sides of the equation, okay? So minus 10 here, the resulting equation is going to be minus 3x is equal to, on the right-hand side, that's actually the same thing as 7 minus 10. That's going to be a minus 3, okay? So we have a minus 3 here. Now, before I proceed, why did I draw this little bar here, okay? Well, this little bar here, this is just what I do. You don't have to do this for yourself. It's a way for me to organize the information because now that we're talking about solutions for equations, it means that we'll be combining elements, and the way that we combine the elements in equations is we do those straight down. So this minus 10 here corresponds to left-hand side of the equation. The minus 10 here is getting combined on the right-hand side of the equation, okay? Okay, let's move on. Okay, so this was the first equation. In fact, let me do this one in a different color. Okay, there we go. This was the first equation. By the subtraction property, we obtained a new equation, okay? And so the new equation is minus 3x is minus 3, and as we can see here, the resulting equation from using the subtraction property is easier than the original equation that we started out with. That lets us know that we're using the, that's another reason why to let us know that we're using the properties correctly. If we're using properties in mathematics, it should be the case that the equations start from more complicated to more simple. Yes, indeed, that is what's happening here, okay? Okay, so how are we going to isolate, so to speak, for the variable x here? We'll do the division property. We'll divide both sides by the number -3, okay? And so negative 3's cancel. We get the x by itself here. X is equal to -3 divided by -3, +1. Okay? And let's check the solution. Okay, so we go back to the original equation, 10 minus 3 times x. Wherever we see an x, we plug in a 1. It's supposed to be equal to the number 7. So 10 minus 3 times 1, that's going to be a 3. Equal to a 7. 10 minus 3, that's a 7. Equal to a 7. Everything is good. So the solution to this equation, x is equal to 1. Okay? All right. And let's take a look at, see if we can get another equation going. Okay. Okay, let's take a look at part C. Okay, so part C here, I believe, yeah. Actually, what I'll do, let me add a page. Okay, so I got to scroll back a couple of times. Okay, we're okay here. Five x plus 3x minus 6 equal to 10. 5x plus 3x minus 6 equal to 10. Okay. Five x plus 3x minus 10 equal to 6. Okay. And let me make sure. 5x plus 3x minus 6. And let me do the correction here. Okay, here we go. We want to solve this linear equation for variable x, okay? This one's a little bit different. We have more terms here, so we need to start out with combining the like terms, okay? So the 5x plus the 3x, that's going to combine to give us 8x. Yeah. I need coffee. 8x minus 6 equal to a 10. Okay. Next thing, and again, notice that every time we're solving equations, the idea is that each step of the way, the resulted equations are getting more simpler. They have less terms, okay? Okay, now we'll use the addition property to clear out the minus 6 on the left-hand side. So we have the equation 8x is equal to 10 plus 6, which is equal to 16. And yeah, the properties are being applied correctly because the equations, the resulting equations, are more simpler than what we started with, okay? And then last thing we'll do, we'll use the division property, divide both sides by number 8 here, and so the resulting, so the solution is going to be x is equal to 16 over 8, that's a 2, okay? Now what we want to do is check the solution. Okay, so in the original equation, wherever we see x, we'll plug in a 2, huh? So 5 times 2 plus 3 times 2 minus a 6, and this needs to be equal to a 10, okay? 5 times 2, that's a 10. 3 times 2, that's a 6 minus a 6, okay? So the 6's cancel. We get a 10. So this equation is solved when the variable x is equal to 2, or the same thing as saying that 2 is the solution to the original equation, okay? And in fact, well, well, I'm trying to get both these things on the same page. How about like this? There we go. Yeah. X is the solution to the equation. Okay. Okay. Anything else? Okay. I believe, well, I thought we had more. I thought that there was more problems here. Okay, yeah, here we go. Part C, okay? So if you notice, part C and part D, those are linear equations. Actually, yeah, okay, there it is. That's what I was looking for, okay? Examples part A, B, C, and D, okay? These are all linear equations, okay? But if you notice in part D, that's a little bit more different than the equations in parts A, B, and C. That's because a term with the variable x occurs on the left-hand side of the equation, and it also occurs on the right-hand side of the equation, okay? So this one is specialized. Let's go ahead and go through the solution. See how you solve a linear equation where the variable x appears in a term on both sides of the equation, okay? Okay, so again, I think what I want to do here, add another sheet, paper, and let's go ahead and solve the equation for part D. So that's 5x minus 2 plus 4x, okay. And that's equal to 2x plus 12, okay. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is combine the like terms on both sides of the equation. And so in particular, on the left-hand side, the 5x combines with the 4x. We get a 9x minus 2 equal to 2x plus 12, okay? Now at this point, what we need to do is to choose for ourselves which side we want the variable to reside in. We either want the variable x to reside on the left-hand side of the equation or on the right-hand side of the equation. In this case, it's going to be easier to leave the variable x on the left-hand side of the equation. This means that we need to move this term from the right-hand side that includes the variable x over to the left-hand side, okay? And the way that's done is by using the subtraction property, minus 2x from both sides of the equation, okay? And so over here, the minus 2x combines with the positive 2x, so that eliminates the term with the variable x on the right-hand side. And then on the left-hand side, minus 2x combines with a positive 9x. That gives us a positive 7x minus 2 equal to 12. Okay? And okay, 7x minus 2 equal to 12. Add a page here. Okay. 7x minus 2 equal to 12. Okay. Okay, we're moving on. And so the idea here when solving equations is to do sequence of eliminations, substitution. addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division properties such that we end up with the variable x by itself. Okay. At this point, what we'll do is we'll use the addition property of equality, add it to both sides of the equation. 2's will cancel here. We get a 7x equal to the 12 plus 2. That's equal to a 14. Okay. And again, if you notice, every time we use one of the properties, the resulting equation is getting more simple. Okay. And now what we'll do is we'll solve for the variable x by itself, use the division property of equality, divide both sides by the 7, number 7, and we end up with x is equal to 14 divided by 7, that's a 2. Okay. Okay, yeah, I know it's a lot. Okay, solving equations, like I said, what I mentioned earlier, solving equations is a big portion of mathematics. Not all mathematics is about solving equations. Math is a huge field, but a lot of resources have been dedicated to solving equations. It makes up a big portion of your math courses. Okay, x is equal to 2. Last thing we want to do, check to ensure that this is the solution to the original equation. Okay, so here was the original equation, 5x minus 2 plus 4x. So wherever we see the x, we'll plug in a 2. Huh? So 5 times x, which is a 2, minus 2, plus 4 times 2. This is equal to 2x plus 12. Let me do this for now. I'm just going to store the term expression 2x plus 12 off to the side for now. We'll deal with it in a bit, okay? I ran out of room here when I'm doing the check. Okay, so again, we're checking the solution x equals to 2 solves the original equation. Wherever you see an x, plug in a 2. 5 times 2, that's going to be a 10. Minus 2 plus 4 times 2, that's going to be a 8. And if we combine all of these terms, I believe we end up with a positive 16. Okay, so that's going to be the result of plugging in x equal to 2, left-hand side of the original equation. Okay, let's go ahead and plug in x equal to 2 into the right-hand side of the original equation. 2 times 2 plus a 12. 4 plus 12 equal to 16. Yeah. So the left-hand side of the original equation is equal to the right-hand side of the original equation. So that's right over here. And that occurs when x is equal to 2. Solution of the equation, x equal to 2, we'll leave it in a box, okay? Ooh. Okay, that's a lot, okay? Like I mentioned, solving equations is not easy, okay? There's a lot of steps, a lot of properties that are used, and again, a good portion of mathematics has been dedicated to solving equations. And so this is the last video for the unit. The next unit will be, those set of videos will be produced by another instructor. And so I wish you all the luck in the world, and I hope these videos are useful for you. Luck in this course, NCBM 0302, and I wish you luck in your follow-on math courses and also in your college career.